There's this phase that I went through early on in my spiritual path, and I think this is probably very common, where I thought it was absolutely necessary that everyone else was working on their spiritual stuff as well, that everyone had to wake up. I thought it was this thing that needed to happen. And it's funny looking back on it because it was through that conviction that I felt the need to redirect so many conversations towards the topic of waking up or spiritual seeking, even if it was totally irrelevant. I thought that was a more valuable, important thing to be talking about. And it's really funny to come full circle and recognize it doesn't actually matter if other people wake up or not. If someone holds the conviction that other people need to wake up, they themselves are not awake. If you need other people to be in that same kind of vibration or recognition, then you yourself are not there. Awakening is the full acceptance of everything as it is. And you can accept everything as it is because you know yourself. And you see that ultimately everything is absolutely perfect as it is. So that feeling of an absolute need, that things totally need to be a particular way, that neediness sort of drops. It just evaporates when you recognize this doesn't need anything. And it's funny to come full circle and then do almost like a second circle around the path and to go back to talking about it. Only the difference is now I'm not talking about it from that need. I'm just talking about it for creative expression. It's just what I'm interested in. And there's a lightheartedness that comes with it now. It's not so heavy. It's not something that needs to happen. I'm just talking about what I'm interested in. And if other people are interested as well, that's great. But if they're not, I don't have any problems with that. Because that perfection is expressing itself as everything already. So there's just no absolute should or shouldn't to it. This is, I suppose, what the Bhagavad Gita is all about, how things don't absolutely need to unfold in any particular way, but then it still doesn't change the fact that causality and conditioning is in motion. It's already set in stone, and you're going to play your role. You're not going to play that role from a need, but you're going to play it because that's where you are. That's how it's unfolding. So it's just funny how the act of talking about spirituality, it's still manifesting in the same way, only there's not that neediness. There's not that heaviness. And often, very often, when people hear that there's not an absolute need for something, for whatever reason, they interpret that as, okay, there's no need, so therefore it shouldn't happen or it can't still happen. And this just isn't what logically follows. So you might ask, well, if there's no need, then why are you talking about this stuff? Why do you have this YouTube channel? As if I can't still talk about it just because there's no need. And that's just not truly how it has to unfold. There is no absolute need, and yet there's the freedom for anything to appear to happen. Absolute needlessness doesn't mean that it shouldn't happen. It just means that whether it happens or not, those are both equal. So just because I'm talking about this stuff, that doesn't mean there's a need for anything to be spoken. It doesn't mean there's a need for anyone to grok what's being said, for anyone to wake up. It's just that perfect creative expression appearing as this, just as it's appearing as anything else. There's truly no difference. And that's the freedom of it. That's the liberation. not needing anything to be a particular way because it's already boundless.